Another thing to talk about is it hard to find a job as a physio in Canada after you train abroad? Okay. Here's some stats here to show you. So we have a huge need for physios in Canada. And part of my life's mission is to try to get this number down. I will go toe to toe with literally anyone other than a professional dog cuddler, but we have the best profession in the whole world. We get to help people feel better without making them addicted to drugs. We get to literally hand people the keys to their life so that they can live their best life longer. Tell me a profession that's better, right? Seriously. So this should be one of the best jobs in the whole world. There should absolutely be no, lag or no demand for physios. It should be filling with physios, but it's not. So long story short, it is very easy to find a job. It is a little bit more challenging to find a really good job. And this is something that I would love to help you with because, again, super passionate about this. So any of our students who do choose to work with us, we are going to help you find a place to work that really matches with your passion, right? But ultimately, if you are becoming a physio in the next 5 years, you will have zero problem finding a job. Even more so, if you do choose to train in Australia, you will have people want you. People like Australians. Australians are just likable people. And now, by association, you are Australian. So they want you to come to their clinic. They want you to work. We know that the Australian schools have a very similar way of training Canadians. So your ability to kind of flow into a Canadian private practice setting, for example, is arguably fairly seamless. One of the things I will say is I've trained quite a few Australian trained physios to work at the clinic that I'm at, and your hands-on skills are better than our Canadians. The Canadian school focus a lot on cardiorespiratory treatments and neurology, and Australia does a banging job at more MSK private practice, which arguably most physios want to go into. So really nice to train abroad. It's going to be very, very simple for you to go into clinical practice. It's going to be a little bit challenging to do the exam for sure, but that is a tiny little blip in the road of your whole career. But ultimately, you're very well set up. Okay. So when should you contact us? So let me know which school you get accepted into. This is really, really nice for a few reasons. Number one, I'll celebrate with you. How exciting. Number two, I want to keep my little talons in you so that when you're at the end of your program, I'm going to knock on your inbox and say, hey, remember me? Do you want to learn about how to come back to Canada in the weeds, in those details that I've tried to avoid here? And then I'm going to meet with you and anyone else who's interested in coming back to Canada, and I'm going to explain the step-by-step process. Okay? If you don't want to reach out to me at this point, at least remember me and contact me as you are finishing your school so that we can help you. Okay. Other than that, I encourage you to not think about prepping. I think that following us on Instagram is really fun because it's just going to give you little tidbits of information. We do a lot of quizzing. We do some back to basic stuff. But ultimately, it's just going to make you feel less guilty about scrolling social media because you will study for 1 minute a day, and it's great then, right? But yeah, that's really it. I wanted to put both our Instagram and our email into the chat box here for you. We'll also put together a recording, as I said, and I'll make sure that our information is there. But please ask me any questions that you have. That is kind of the end of what I wanted to chat with you about. But yeah, please ask any questions you have.
Yeah, type them in the chat. Katelyn, thank you for making this information seem so fun. I mean, I'm not even a physio, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, yeah, I'm into this, right? This is, yeah, it's, perhaps not as daunting as it initially seems, the process.
Yeah, the daunting part is the time, truthfully. That is the tough part. And I will say, I've been doing this for 10 years and I've seen that timeline shrink. COVID happened, the timeline got huge. And then now, and we're in the post-COVID times, it is definitely getting back down to more of like a reasonable timeline. But that's the most daunting part. The exam is not daunting. Finding a job is not daunting. Time.